You know, Harriet Tubman, she made a powerful quote. She said that I could have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. And I feel like this is very true, especially in the corporate world or in the workforce in general. You know, a lot of people they work these jobs, whether it's hourly wage jobs or annual salary jobs. But a lot of these companies they don't really pay you the amount that you're worth. You know, um, I've been in the workforce for um, about 14 years now, about 14 years, and it took me a while to kind of realize it, but I started to compare the amount of money that I was being paid to the value of the work that I was doing. You know, um, for example, right? I used to work at a company that sold appliances like refrigerators, stove tops, and water heaters and things like that. And I thought to myself, I said, how much would you pay someone to lift up a refrigerator, right? Take it into your house and, just, set it up and get it working, right? And I would say that the average person would say maybe 20 to $25, right? Just to, you know, get a dolly or hand truck and, take the refrigerator off a pickup truck, roll it into your house, put it in the kitchen, put the plug in and just, make sure it's working and everything. I would offer you between 20 to $30 just to do that, right? That might take what? How long would that take? Maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, you know, 30 minutes top, right? Now, like I said, the average person would pay someone about 20 to $30 to do that. But the job that I was working at, I was doing this maybe 3 or 4 times an hour, right? Within 1 hour, I had to get a refrigerator or a washing machine or a dryer, something large like that, and I had to pick it up and put it in and load it into somebody's car. Or sometimes I had to, take it to a person's house and, load it up and, put it into their houses and set it up. And I was getting paid about $9 an hour to do that. And for a long time, I don't know why, I just couldn't see or realize the value of what I was doing. And I feel like a lot of people they do this in the workforce as well. You know, um, you know, I would rather work a job or not necessarily work a job or I would rather work for myself or have, find a way to make money that depends on how hard I work. How much money I make depends on how hard I work. You want a kind of job or have a type of profession where the harder you work, the more money you make. That's basically what you want. You don't want to work a job that pays you hourly wage and no matter how hard you work, you basically make the same amount of money. Now, some of these jobs, they may offer incentives, but usually the incentive still doesn't amount to the value of the work that you're putting in. You know, um, a lot of these jobs, I used to work at warehouse jobs, you know, um, some of these jobs, or most of these jobs, seem to be set up just like the plantation. You know, um, I hate to talk about race, but if you talk about slavery, you also have to bring in race as well, because a lot of these warehouse jobs, a lot of these um, manual labor type jobs, the majority of the people that do the work are African American or Hispanic, you know, and a lot of times the managers are are white. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that that makes them racist or anything, but I feel like the structure of slavery, or how the plantations were structured, it was moved over into the corporate world. It was moved over into the industrial world. A lot of times the employees or the people who do the actual labor are black or Hispanic. Okay. Sometimes they'll have a black manager, but the black manager seems to act more as a like an interpreter, right? It seems like the white managers or supervisors are not able to communicate with the blacks and Hispanics very well. So they hire a black manager to sort of, interpret, take orders from the white manager and interpret it or translate it to the black employees in a way so they can understand it. I feel like I don't want to seem like I'm over analyzing things or being paranoid. But like I said, I've been in the workforce for a while, and I worked for a series of different companies, and I kept seeing the same thing. A lot of the black managers, they seem like, I mean, they just had this sort of attitude about them that I didn't like. And I started to realize that they were more like, they were more like a puppet. Like they were slaves too, but more like a house slave. You had your field slaves and you had your house slaves. And the house slaves had this attitude like they were better than the field slaves, but they were still slaves. You understand what I'm saying? So I kind of got that sort of feeling from many of the black managers and the black supervisors. Some of them were cool, but a lot of them, they fit that sort of description, you know. So yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna say.